Morning. Hello. I just get into that music and then it seems to cut off really abruptly. I want like a fade on it. Morning to Lisa, who has kindly joined us this morning from holiday in Norfolk. Are you working
Yes,
at the same time as
hello.
you're there, Lisa?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I only do a few hours a day while we're here. Get it out the way in the morning, and then we're off on ventures with the dogs.
Nice. Do the dogs like the beach? I know you know the beach.
They do. I have labs, so they're water babies through and through. Keeping them on a boat is probably my biggest challenge.
Yeah, love it. So there's just lots of cleaning up when you get back.
That's it.
Sand
Yeah,
and wet
yeah. We
dog.
have showers often here.
Oh, nice. Well, the dogs are a good segue into what you do. Yeah, let's start with what you do now. What one to many has given you?
Absolutely. So, I'll go into history in a minute, but
Mm,
passion for me is dogs, and I've lived a life that had me working away from home. So dogs were never really on the radar personally for a long time. And then my husband and I, we made the decision one day that we were just going to bring a dog home and then have to change life to suit the dog, and we did exactly that 10 years ago. And we haven't looked back since. And about 5 years ago, I brought my third dog home, Cody Boy, and he was quite different to the others. He really struggled with his confidence. We say dogs with big feelings, they can be barky and not happy with other dogs in their presence, that sort of thing. And he was quite a challenge. He was quite different to what I had experienced as a kid. And with my other two dogs, that will go to anyone who's got, a treat or a bit of steak. And so off the back of that, I decided I needed to learn more about the academics behind dog psychology. And so I went through a bit of a process there, and I thought, you know what, this is what I love doing. I love being around the dogs. I love what dogs bring into a home.
mhm.
Um, but when I chat to a lot of people who have dogs, I get a lot of the things that dogs are kind of stopping them doing, or the chaos they're causing, or the dogs and the kids are not getting on, and the dogs are fighting. And I thought, you're missing all of the joy here. What can I do about this?
Mm,
So I decided I wanted to work with dogs in a family home, so around kids, and particularly around young kids. And I started to understand that there's a bit of a, I don't want to say epidemic, but there's a lot of families in the UK where dogs are either brought into the house and then given up, or dogs don't get into the house because kids are so scared of them. Some of them with good reason, but
mhm.
some of them just because they've had no socialization and no exposure to dogs.
Yeah.
And so I thought, this is an area I'm really interested in. I think dogs and kids can have a tremendous relationship. So I thought, I'm going to do something in this field,
Mm.
which
What
is a
were you
complete
doing?
pivot from my life.
Yeah, what was your day job then?
So my
Unrelated to
day job, completely unrelated. I'm a corporate director in a construction consultancy firm. So my day job is to manage construction projects. And again, as I mentioned, we couldn't really have dogs for a long time because I was working away from home. I would pack a bag on a
Mm,
Monday, come home on a Friday, or at peak season in a project, maybe come home the following week. So we were never really around routinely to be able to look after dogs. So this was a complete pivot into something new, and it's still my intention, and I'm working towards it now, to move that into being my full-time role and
yeah.
going really full on into the industry with dogs and kids, and just helping them bond and make that relationship and just make it safer for everybody around dogs, and just up the level of education across everybody.
Yeah. So how did one to many help you with that? What was the like the catalyst? You thought, I've one to many is the thing for me. I need to learn how to do X, Y, Z.
I kind of fell upon it, I'll be honest. So in 2019, I lost my mum very suddenly, and it kind of put me into a bit of a spin around working away from home, lots of family time missed, sacrifices being made, not going on random Wednesday dinners with friends because you're not there. And it
Mhm.
was the first time I kind of thought, I'm sacrificing something to live this way. And that's when the kind of seed was dropped around, what else could I do? Um, and then it was kind of, COVID hit the next year, which crashed the construction industry like dead to the ground. And then the year following that, in 2021, there was some tax legislation changes that affected how freelancers can work in the construction industry. So the three things compounded, I thought, there's no bigger sign to start something new. And it was 2023 when I Race to Recurring Revenue just popped up on my feed one day. And I think it was Lisa doing a talk on Facebook. And I thought, oh, I quite like her approach. I quite like her kind of no nonsense way. Yeah. So I listened in, and then I did the Race to Recurring Revenue challenge. And by the end of it, I thought, I feel like I've got a solid idea. I feel like I've got a solid, approach to what I want to achieve. I'm just not really sure on the how I get there yet. And that's where one-to-many came in. So I dived into one-to-many. I went through the process in 2023. But with some issues and stuff we had at home, I went back full time into the construction industry. Yeah. And I came back round to it again in 2025. So I did everything again in 2025. I had a bit of a different mindset, which I think really helped. I think the first time I kind of came into it thinking, I know a lot of this. I just need bits of help from here and there. And you kind of nitpick through the course. And that obviously doesn't work, as anyone who's done it will know. And so when I did it again in 2025, I was religious in I will follow the steps in time with how I'm supposed to do it in the right order, and really focus in on that sort of framework and that process as it's laid out. And I did. And I did launch my business in 2023, but I focused more on just being visible and just getting out there and getting in the mix of dog owners, dog businesses, and just getting into that whole industry being just brand new. And it was really about building my confidence as being someone, an educator in that field. Yeah. And that's what I've kind of spent the best part of 24 and 25 doing. And now I'm about to finish the academics that will support me to be able to go out and to start working full.
Yeah, I think that's quite interesting. It's a good way to do it, because there's a lot of people that say, well, I'm not the expert, but I know I need to change my life, and I've got loads of things I can help people with, but how can I be the expert? And really, you're just working from your own experiences and your own passion to begin with. But that doesn't, at some point, you can go and get a qualification once you've decided. And if one-to-many helps you see the possibilities of that idea that you love, you can then go on and add a qualification that matches. But you want to be sure you've got your idea right and that it sits well, and it is something that's going to fit around your new lifestyle that you want. You don't want to just create something that's the same. And then you can just go and do. So you went and got a qualification specifically for children,
for dog behavior, and then enhanced onto specifically around children with fears of dogs. And that's almost coming to an end now. But whilst that's been going on, I've been doing a lot of the work, as you say, in the visibility arena to just get out there, get known, and just immerse myself into the industry, so that when I'm ready to launch my first course, I'm ready. My confidence is there. I'm strategically kind of ready to go. So that's been the last year and a bit for me. And as I say, I shall be finished this course by April. I'm working with the association now that's specific to fearful children, so that we can get a good bit of exposure there. It's going well. So
you can see now how that sort of how the shift of something, and then buying into one-to-many and the things that it taught you, but how you can get this life that you started thinking about. Maybe even 2019 you started to think, I need to change stuff after your mum sadly died. You just were looking for something else, and now you're making it happen.
That's it. And I think the first time I did OTM, the one thing that I kind of took away was, people, when they're thinking about what can I do to earn some money, they think about the things they're good at technically. Technically, I'm good at this, or I can follow the steps to do that. But actually, when we had that first session in 2023 on your big idea, and I saw all of the creative things that people were coming up with the sorts of things they love to spend their time doing, or the things they turn to when they want to switch off from the day, and how you can turn that into something that becomes your income stream. That's when I thought, oh, hang on, maybe there's something I can do with dogs here. And it took a while for that to kind of sink in, and for me to believe that there's actually an income stream here, or a revenue stream here, that can become full-time and give us the same sort of lifestyle that we have now. Because obviously, having worked away and being freelance, we've got a fairly good income now, and it's about matching that or making it better. My husband's also slightly older than me, so he's kind of coming towards retirement. So we're also keeping that in the back of our minds in terms of how our finances are going to change in sort of 5 years' time. So for me, I've got this period now to really build this up into something that can financially sustain us. But, you know, it's good to be like doing your hobby every day and getting paid for it. So, and helping, you know, kids and dogs to just be, you know, living well together. So,
yeah, making improvements to people's lives with something that you love doing anyway.
That's it.
And because the obvious thing would have been to do something in construction. That's the thing you do. That's like, I'll do something in construction. But it's, whilst we can be good at something, it doesn't always mean that is what we have to do, or that's our passion, or that's going to light our fire. And these things do change and evolve. And you've taken time, you've taken a couple of years to work this out, where you want to be and what's going to work for you and your husband and your own dogs and the life you want to have. So some people will, you know, button it down in that 6 months and be like, yeah, I've got this sorted. And other people, it takes a bit longer, and that's fine because the stuff is all there. And I think, well, I did it back in like 2020. But I think even if it doesn't immediately come to you, and I didn't immediately start anything, I definitely felt a shift. I changed. I saw myself as there are possibilities for me to live differently, to do things differently. And that really helped. Maybe took me mentally a little bit longer to feel like, as you said, like to feel like the expert in something and grow that slowly. I felt I needed to take my time putting myself out there a bit more and just get comfortable. And whereas other people will just jump straight in, because we all have different skills and we all feel comfortable with different things. But I think to be able to be where you are now and know that you've created this for yourself, because you can do it, can't you? You have done it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think that another big takeaway for me, and somebody said it in a random chat within OTM, is stay in your lane. And I think it's the best advice anyone can give anyone doing OTM. Stay in your lane. You've come with your ideas, you've come with your objectives. Don't get swayed by what other people are doing, or how fast someone else is moving, or how slow someone else is moving. Your pace is your pace. And yes, you know, through both of the OTMs I did, there were people who were launching stuff before OTM even finished, and they were making some money from it. So it was successful. And then, you know, there's obviously lots of other people like me who are taking a bit of a slower, steady approach. But as long as you're confident with how you're doing and what you're achieving, you're sticking to your own plan. You know, it's definitely doable for everyone. And I was kind of on the fence, and I'm even thinking about coming back in again, because I've heard there's some one-to-one coaching going on in this next one, and I'm like, oh, I did do a strategy day with Lisa a while back, and it was a real good accelerator for me to really kind of, you know, zone in and pitch down and get my, you know, the next few months set.
It's exciting, doesn't it? When you've done one bit of it, you're like, oh, I'm excited. I can see now how I can grow it. I can grow it more. I can add more recurring revenue. I can add more passive income. I can add more courses. I could have a membership. I could write a book. I could be doing early morning sessions when I'm out with the dogs and recording them and putting them on YouTube. Like, it suddenly opens up a whole other world of stuff that just makes you happy and makes you money at the same time.
I know, and that's the goal, right? Isn't it? We don't live forever, so we have to find something that we enjoy spending most of our days doing and making money from it.
And it is possible. I mean, I was a secondary school teacher. I knew nothing about setting up a business. You worked in construction, presumably had never set up your own business or gone into
certainly not the online space, no, and not in a kind of you know, many to one type scenario. That was completely didn't even know about it really before doing Race to Recurring Revenue the first time. So that was definitely a big eye opener for me.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I know. I remember feeling the same thing, like, oh wow, all of this exists, and I could have been accessing this you know,
I've been
and not,
doing for years.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, sitting in a classroom with a load of kids and the bell going and got to be, you know, all of those things. I love teaching, but there were bits of it that, you know, lacked flexibility, and now I have complete flexibility. It's just so nice.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm going to let you go because I know you're going to go out with the dogs.
Yes.
Down to the beach,
Yes.
or wherever, out for a nice walk, find a pub, Saturday lunchtime.
That's it. That's the route. We'll find the pub and then walk back.
Nice.
Excellent.
Good. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you for giving us your insights into what you've done, and I'm just so pleased that you're making a success and getting the life change that you wanted from it. So thank you.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. Thanks so much for having me.